Hello and welcome back to another episode in the A.N.I series, where today we will be taking a look at the Mcfarlane Toys Superman from Superman 2025. Now, specifically, this is the deluxe version, which comes with some added bonuses when compared to the basic release, which, I was almost tempted to get that one, but due to some reasons I will show here, it just might be worth it to cough up a little bit more for this guy. So without that, let's get a closer look, shall we? So moving on to the head, the sculpt work on the face is alright. I think there's an issue with my copy though, because I feel like the printing for the eyes has, I don't know, shifted a little too up. Which, when I looked at it, didn't seem too bad until, taking a closer look earlier myself. So, not ideal. I don't think many copies should be this bad, but, if you're in a store, I'd highly suggest taking a look at some of the copies before picking out the final one. But, with that, the actual sculpt work looks pretty good. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the norm. There is a break in the sculpt, and that is due to some swappable face parts, which we'll take a look at that in a bit. But in terms of just actual head, it's pretty good. Not the best, but definitely could be better. Taking a look at the chest work, the actual sculpted details, like any Mcfarlane figure, I quite enjoy. They definitely don't reuse too much, but for this whole body, I'm assuming it's a new sculpt because it's based on the new 2025 film, and it looks decent overall. And getting a look at the back there. Now, the only problem is, I don't know if you've noticed this, is there seems to be some I think that's either a blue smudge or the paintwork didn't fully tampo onto the chest there. That's what I'm assuming, at least, because it looks like, it looks kind of like the blue peeking out. That's what I'm assuming. Again, not too great, and when you see it, it just kind of becomes noticeable. So, I'm gonna try and fix that later. But again, if you're in the store and you see multiple copies, I'd just keep an eye out for the logo and some of the face sculpts, and the paintwork being applied. But I guess overall, just taking a look at it all around. Oh, another thing to mention is the tamper on the actual cape, which is very nice. I quite like it. I wasn't expecting it, especially on the fabric cape, which, you know what, might as well get a look at it now. It stretches out about, let me just fully stretch it out here. Seems to stretch out about that much, but of course, it being on a wire, you can always bend it to your heart's content, though do be careful. You don't want to break it. But I guess that's all I really have to say. It looks good. I think proportion-wise looks good. Nothing too out of the norm. So, moving on to articulation. If we take a look at the head here, the head is on a ball joint at the top of the head, which allows for about this far to the side, and this far to that side. He looks down about that much, and he can look up pretty decent up. I think just enough to get a pretty decent flying pose, but you're being hindered by the sculpt, so I don't know if there was anything they could do there. My only guess is if they invested in another ball joint here at the bottom of the neck, but for what it is, it's not too bad. Moving on to the torso, you have an upper ball joint here and a ball joint down here. So if we take a look at the front one, he can bend about that far forward, just on the top joint, so not too much. And just using the top joint there, he gets about that much. Nothing really crazy. For side action, it's just noticeable, but again, not too much. And I'm really trying not to move that bottom one. I want to see how much this top one can do. And yeah, I can't tell if that's because of the bottom ball joint moving or my imagination. Am I actually moving anything here? I want to say yes. I really want to say I am moving something there. So, I don't know. I think I'm going crazy. With the lower ball joint, you get about that far to the side, and about the same on the other, with it bending downwards about that much. So it's pretty good. And of course, the whole crotch is in a soft plastic, so that will bend out of the way for your poses. And he leans back about that far. Just be careful of warping. Moving back up to the arms, it's on that kind of like a faux butterfly joint. It's a ball joint deep into the chest with a long peg to the actual arm, so it gets pretty nice rotation, and it has this shoulder cap which will move around to make the actual joint to look more fluid. So it is nice. So it does lean forward about that much, leans back about that much, and of course you can tilt it up and down. You do get a bicep swivel, which doesn't look bad from the side, that is. A little weird, but I think that's just because I don't think you can avoid that bicep. But again, it looks way better here than it did on the Ultraman that I previously showed off. You do get a double joint in the arm, which bends about the full way. And they are slightly ratcheted, soft ratcheted, so that is nice. For the hands, they are on a hinge, a peg that allows for a rotation. And you can, of course, rotate this because it's also on a peg going into the arm. So that gives you a rotation in just about any angle that you need. So, for instance, if this character needed to wield a gun, you can angle the joint going up and down as such, or to angle the joint as such here. And again, pretty unrestricted, only being slightly restricted here in the sculpt of the sleeve. But overall, fairly good. Gets about as much as you'd want it. For the legs, you can get a kick if you really push it. And I hope I don't ruin the crotch there. You get a kick up slightly more than 90 degrees. You get a kick back just slightly under. And of course, you can get the splits. Again, they're on a softer ratchet, which is nice. So he can almost do a full split, going that direction or front to back. So pretty nice. Do you get a thigh swivel? No. There's no real rotation, and I feel like I might break the leg if I did try. So yeah, I don't think you get one there, which is a little unfortunate. I don't know if they could have just done what Marvel Legends does and you know, just add a cut to the thigh Or I know with some other Mcfarlane figures, this allows for a grid or swivel, but no, nothing here. You do get a double bend at the knee, and that's about as far as it's gonna go. Not quite all the way deep in there, but not bad looking. Oh my god. I might invest in some new gloves because, well, I thought these were good at the start. They do get caught on some of these joints. Tangent aside, for the leg, you get a hinge down at the foot and a hinge up, so it goes about that far. You can rotate the this hinge right here to allow. Can I turn the foot at least? To allow for a fake rocker, if I can do it while looking through the camera. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. So you can do that. So you can fake a rocker, because I don't think there's a natural rocker. Kinda. The way that the peg is situated, it's a little, the angle isn't quite right for it, but I mean, it is there. And of course, with almost every Mcfarlane figure, you do get a toe joint. Again, goes about that far up and that far down. And again, the sculpt work all throughout this figure is just very nice. I think this might be one of my favorite Superman costumes to date. And, oh, I don't think I mentioned the paintwork on the belt, because that's the only other real place you'll see paintwork. And it's supplied fairly nicely. About as nicely as, you know, you can expect from a retail figure. Though not quite retail. For this being a deluxe, I believe he retailed for around $35. And with some pricing on the aftermarkets, you're probably looking at maybe $45 to $60, which, yeah, don't pay scalper prices. I would highly recommend finding it for retail. Or if you don't mind waiting, I'd just wait a tiny bit. But with that out of the way, and if I can get him to stand, there we go. So moving on to accessories, I guess the first one we should take a look at is probably the biggest. That being Krypto, the super dog. I'm calling him accessory and not a... I mean, you can call him a figure, but he's more of a statue, as he has no articulation to speak of. But he does come with a cloth cape, which is nice. And again, the tampo work is done very similarly to Superman. Overall paintwork is fine. I mean, it's not real. It's not the most realistic, but I'd say it's passable. And I think the pose that they chose is fine. It would have been nice to see an articulated figure, but I don't. That most likely would boost up the price. So just for size comparison, next to Superman, he is about, I would say, accurate to the film. Now for other accessories, he of course, like any other Mcfarlane figure, comes with a collectible card. This one noting it as the Deluxe Theatrical Edition, which I guess it's the full name, the Superman Deluxe Theatrical Edition, which, again, just like the Ultraman before, has a nice little shine to the lettering, and the artwork is pretty nice. Nothing to complain there. For the back, here's a quick look. I'm not going to read out the whole thing. If you want to read it, just take a pause. I think I've given you plenty of time to pause, so moving on. Another basic accessory you get with any Mcfarlane is a stand. Though, unlike Ultraman's, this one does not have the nice silver paintwork, which I do have for comparison. Which I'm kind of... It's not the biggest deal. It's a very, very, very small nitpick. kind of would have liked if this also came in that nice silver. I mean, just to match with the other theatrical edition, you know, just a tiny bit of consistency, you know, that wouldn't hurt too much. Next up, we do get a pair of alternate hands, and the alternate hands you get are the flying pose hands, which, for more closer look, if this glove would like to cooperate with me. Whoa, don't want to lose it. If I apologize for my lack of depth. My depth perception is not that great. So here we go. It's sculpted decently well. And it is the same on the other hand. So nothing too different. And of course you can just pop this out. And plug this in. With a little bit of force. There we go. So yeah, there you go. That's how that looks. And I'll just leave that on him for a quick sec. Now, the hand he came included with was a fist. Right here. And the other hand being a holding grip pose. Now, unfortunately, you don't get any matching sets for those. The only matching set you get are for the flying pose, which, again, for a deluxe release, I think I would have preferred getting at least matching hand sets, just so, you know, it would allow for more choices, more options, definitely for photography. Again, just, it would be nice, you know. Moving on, you do get some alternate faceplates, with the first being this happy pose. If I sound confused, it's because the next face also confuses me. I'm assuming this is more of a grimace face. I mean, I see the sculpt change going on with the eyebrows, but I mean, nothing too different is going on. And again, the face that it came with doesn't look all too dissimilar. Like, I don't think he's supposed to be looking off in a different direction. They almost feel like, if I can do this, they almost feel like the same face ever so slightly different. Yeah, I mean, this is the most different, but these two, I don't know. I guess there's a slight difference, but it's hard to tell. The one that is different is the heat vision, which kind of just looks like the same mold for this one, just painted with different paint. I mean, yeah, it's an accessory. I'm not too stoked, but I mean, it's something, I guess. And now, just to try out that whole face swapping feature. You do want to be a little careful just because of the hair swirl. And my god, that looks horrifying. Jesus. Let's see. Let me put on the... Oh my god, I mixed the face plates. Let me just go with this one. This one's the most different. At least to the naked eye for me. And let's see here. There we go. And yeah, that works pretty well. Again, I think I would have preferred different types of expressions. Maybe a yelling face. I mean, I'm not a fan of the yelling faces in most figure packs, but I mean, at least it's an option, a very clear option. And yeah, that's it. That's all the accessories. I mean, they're there. Let's just move on to size comparisons. Alright, so for the first comparison, let's take a look at the only other character that I got from the film. That being, if I can pose him, the battle-damaged Ultraman. Who, again, one of my favorite characters from the film, even though he didn't have too much to do, but I did enjoy him all the same. And the thing is, he is larger. Like, noticeably so. I think even... yeah. Oh wow, that actually looks pretty good. I think that shows up just about how much different he is size-wise. So if you see the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna try and not spoil anything, and I'll just leave it at that. Kind of preferred if the... I don't know if either he should be, you know, I don't know if Superman should match Ultraman's height, or if Ultraman should match Superman's height. Either way, the fact that both of them aren't the same, and a little bummer. I don't know if that was because they didn't know, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Moving on to the next size comparison. The SH Figure Arts Boon Boonger Red, who again is out of scale to Mcfarlane because Mcfarlane is at a 7-inch, while most imports are, I believe, 1/12 true scale. Not quite 6-inch, but I mean, they're about in the same ballpark, so yeah, that's how much he stacks up to. Next up, we have the Maximum Series Spider-Man. So a little Marvel versus DC size comparison. And again, Superman, once again, beats him in height. Again, difference in 7-inch versus 6-inch. For another Mcfarlane figure, here is one of my favorites, being the Batman-Superman fusion. Who is, you know, like a smidge taller. Not too much, but just enough. And last but not least, the SH Figure Arts Uma Musume Reischauer, who I guess will now be added at the end of every comparison. If she is willing to stand, that is. Why did I make her the last comparison if she can barely stand? Come on. Holy, just stand, please. There we go. And yeah, I'm starting to debate if I should bring out other brands of figures, because man, I really just pulled out 2 different SH Figure Arts. Oh well, that's a problem for another day. And now moving on to conclusions. That being, is he worth your time? And I mean, at the moment, there's only really 2 collector-based Superman action figures. That being the regular, normal release, the basic release from McFarlane, that I believe is $20 to $25. And, man, there was another brand out there that I heard of. I forgot the name of it, but it's 1/9 scale, I believe. And, yeah, there's no way I'm getting that version. Just because I do have a decent amount of McFarlane in 7-inch. And you can, if you want, smidge the scaling between anything that's smaller. So yeah, the real thing is, if you really think, if you think he's worth the price that he is, I don't think you'll be too disappointed. I know I'm just ever so slightly let down by the accessories, but the added Super Dog is nice, even though he is a statue. So, yeah, I don't think I can fully recommend this one. It's kind of hard to. I know SH Figure Arts, I believe, showed off their version. So if you want something with more articulation, more of a accurate sculpt, I'd say wait for that. But if you can't wait and you just need one for your collection, or if you're a big McFarlane fan, then yeah, I'd say get them. But don't be expecting too much. I know I enjoyed the figure for what he is, but yeah, he's not really blowing me away with what he's doing. So with that, I've been Amano in the Red, and if you'd like to see more content, I'd check out the channel HexHap, where me and my friends live stream painting and building Warhammer miniatures. I keep wanting to say minifigures, but yeah, gotta fix that. Or if you want to see some pretty cool gaming clips, I'd check out Commissar Yoraki, who's also a member of HexHap. And with that, I'll see you next time. Peace.